So AI, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. And in Hebrew, it says here, I don't need. I will go by foot. No, no, thanks. Like, okay. So AI is something that everybody's talking about, and I'm going to talk about AI, and we're going specifically to talk about GitHub Copilot, but it's not about GitHub Copilot because GitHub Copilot is just a tool that Intel kindly provide us. And by the way, it's one of the best tools out there, but I'm not going to train exactly how to use GitHub Copilot, although you will see that. I'm going to talk about the concept of co-coding, okay? Now, I've been asked all kinds of questions like, sorry if there are mistakes here because I wrote it like briefly. I'm working with GitHub Copilot. It's not that something. I don't know. It makes mistakes. I need it gives me bugs. It gives, I don't know, all kinds of things. So it is for beginners or advanced. Do we need to come to your training? And it's sometimes from IT, they say, oh, it's very expensive. We can't afford. It's like $40, $12 per engineer. It's like we can't afford it. Or I get, I don't know, I use IGPT. I think it's enough. Okay. And yeah, I use GitHub Copilot. There's I don't care what model. I don't know. There's a default over there. And it's for software guys, right? We are hardware or we are validators. It's not for us. And my manager doesn't approve it. He doesn't think I need to use it. All of these are real things that I heard. Yeah, you know, Office Copilot. No, it's not Office Copilot. It's GitHub Copilot. And GitHub, what? No, I just need the training on VS Code, how to use the IDE. And this AI thing is a hype, nothing like good old coding. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. So I'm hearing that all the time. So maybe also you guys have prior opinions on, you know, using GitHub or what it is or what it's like. And believe me, it's different. It's different from what you think. Now, I want to show you something.
I call it the wheel.
I don't think so. What does it do?
It rolls.
Yeah, so does a bagel, okay? A bagel you can eat. One of the worst ideas I've ever heard.
Brother David, behold, the fork. I got 10 forks right here, baby. Am I right?
My lord?
What is it?
A toilet, my lord.
A toilet? You expect this court to do its business inside? We're not animals. We go outside like humans.
It's coffee. It's new.
Oh, it's awful.
You don't like it?
I'm all jittery and feel like I got a big job coming on.
Hancock, you sign first.
No king! Gentlemen, have you taken leave of your senses?
The people shall have the right to vote.
Even the stupid ones?
Yes.
Stupid people vote?
Yes.
Edison, can I be honest with you? It stinks. Does your wife know what's going on here?
She knows I go to work.
You're wasting your time, and it's sad. You might as well put the dishes in the shower.
Hey, Captain, what's cooking?
We're putting a man on the moon.
Are you out of your mind? I can't even get tuna without celery. Nobody's gone to the moon, ever.
Why not?
It's too far. It's far. It's really far. It's far.
我々の未来はポータブルミュージックです。
バカかバカかわかるだろうわかるだろうわかるだろう
出ていけ。
未来言うのか怖いんだまた2回言ってもええだぞまた2度もファンタジー
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.
So just checking, do you hear me and see the slide?
Yes.
Okay, so when I'm talking about AI knowledge, I need to emphasize that there are three levels of knowledge. The first one is user level, which is actually all the cool stuff. Chatting with the chatting and generating images and animation. And this level one is amazing. And if you're not already playing with it like uh, all the time, it's amazing to live in this era. But it's user level. Okay, we can do researches and we can create images and we can create music. And I have all cool training about level one, which is really fun and useful. We have Office Copilot, for example, that can summarize meetings and search into your mailbox and answer questions. All of this is level one. It's useful. You need to know it. Everybody will know it. At the edge of level one, there is the term of vibe coding. I'm sure you heard about vibe coding. And I'm not going to talk today about vibe coding. By the way, vibe coding is like you have platforms like Lovable and Base 44 and all kind of platforms that you go on the web and you have some free requests that you can do, like for example with Base 44, and you can write a prompt, create an application to manage the birthday of my kid. I want to, and it will make an amazing application for you. And you can deploy it on the web. And it can, collect statistics and everything you want, okay? That's vibe coding. Now, vibe coding, everybody can do. And that's not what I'm talking about. I encourage you today tomorrow, this week, to try and do something with vibe coding. It's great, but everybody can do it. It doesn't differentiate you at all from nothing. It's just fun. And then there's level two. Now, level two is what I call the practical AI. That's where we are. In practical AI, there are in my opinion, two approaches that an engineer, whether it's a software engineer, hardware engineer, validation engineer, lab technician, okay, can approach. One is to be able to co-code, which is what I will demonstrate today. You're not vibe coding. You are actually coding with the tool. You are his manager, but you're going hand by hand with him. By the way, if you let loose, and I will talk about it a lot, you will use it as a vibe coder, and then you're in level one. So the emphasis of my training today is how to work with GitHub Copilot on the level two, as you are the experienced engineer and not like just magic stick that, let's vibe code. The other thing that makes the level two effective is know how to use APIs, like connect to Jenny, connect to HSDS, but programmatically. And if you have those two capabilities, know how to master your co-coding, for example, in GitHub, and know how to connect to services, whether there are services, external services, Intel services, as I mentioned, like Jenny, then you can become an engineer with superpower. Now, when I'm saying superpower, I mean that you need to have the power first, but I'll get to it. Now, level three is actually AI, like learning what is a transformer, how to build models, what is a neural network. So this is really cool stuff, and I encourage you to learn it. But sometimes people are mistakenly think that, hey, I want to know AI, let's start doing courses in academia or YouTubes about level three, which is okay if you like, but you might be missing something. So I'm directing to level two, and these are all level one. I also call it code whispering, but let's say it's co-coding. Okay. Now, when you are a co-coder, it means that you know your profession. So it's a very busy slide here, but actually, if you are, let's say, a software guy, a good software guy, you know how to write, for example, Python, okay? Then when you work with co-coding, you actually guide the tool to do what you know. So if you're an expert in, for example, Python, you can guide the tool to boost you up tenfold, even more, okay? If you're a hardware engineer, you can do the same. So the main point to understand is that if you have knowledge of doing something, whether it's validation, scripting, software programming, C++, all of those, you can master GitHub Copilot correctly, as I will show you today. But if you will tend to say, oh, it's like magic, I can just tell him to build something and I don't know what he's doing, but it's magic, it will work. You passed the border to vibe coding. And for small stuff, it's fine, it's okay. I will show you something that I did yesterday using GitHub Copilot as a vibe coder, okay? It works, it's great. I don't have a clue what it done inside, but it's not what I'm teaching you today. I'm teaching you to be an expert that accelerates himself. That's why I'm saying using correctly GitHub Copilot give you superpower, but you need to have the power in advance. So if you're a good software programmer, you'll become an amazing one, etc. Okay. Now, another change of concept that you will see in my demonstration here is that you're not only writing code. You are the architect of the solution. You are the team lead. You are the QA. You are the validation. You are everything. Okay, you are a full team. Now, you will see in my examples, but you need to think like that. By the way, we are experiencing in the whole world, okay, a junior problem. People are, students are graduating computer science, and it's very difficult to find a job as a junior. And that's because companies don't want juniors, they want seniors. So, by the way, it's possible for a junior to become a senior if he understands what I'm showing today and he practices it, okay? So, I'm going to show you today how you're going to scale up from an individual coder to a team manager. You're going today to become a team manager of your project, and the workers are AI, okay? So can I do a website, Python script? Can I do C++, C driver, Linux kernel? Can I do Verilog? Can I do FPGA design? Yes. The answer is yes. And my demos today will be just small demos, but you need to believe me that everything that I will show you today is small just because I have limited time to show you, but you can do it in scale, bigger, okay? So I will show you some examples, but more important than the example itself is the understanding of the methodology. It's not just, hey, write me a function that does this and that, or I want you to go over the code and, remove remarks, or it's much more than that, okay? So let's see the tips that I wrote here, and I will go over there. So we start with project definition. So mostly I will show you a project from start. One of the questions that you might raise is, but Avi, I'm not working on a project from scratch. I'm working on an existing project, and it's not what you demoed. So believe me that it's relevant the same way. Maybe I'll show you an example. If we'll have time, I will take some random code that I don't know, and I'll work on it. So you can see that you can work on unfamiliar code or big code bases. But if you are building something, you need to not jump into the code. You need to, to think like a team manager. And you start with the project definition. You start with requirements. By the way, it's going to be very fast. I will show you. But you're going to have a requirement spec, an architecture spec, an MVP. MVP is a minimum viable product definition, okay? You're going to work like a project manager, but it's going to take minutes. I will show you, okay? Then you're going step by step with him. You're not saying, you will not tell him, hey, build me an application that manages all the inventory in the lab. You will go step by step as if you just hired a new engineer. You don't go to a new engineer and tell him, look, build an inventory control. You will tell him, first of all, you'll tell him, hey, let's discuss what we're going to do. Let's review the spec. Let's plan, okay? Now, start by just building this function. Let's see it working. Write a test to check it. So you're going step by step, and slow is fast, fast is slow. Remember that. If you go slowly, okay, you will get results amazingly fast. If you try to go too fast, you will get lost, okay? Now, you need to save revisions, okay? Every time you have something that looks okay, you need to save it. The tool has a mechanism of saving milestones, checkpoints, but I personally like to use Git as a revision control. I will show you. By the way, again, I recommend you to know what is Git and GitHub and what is branching, etc. But I will, by purpose, show you that you don't need to, because I will just speak to the tool and tell him, hey, set up a Git repository, just commit, things like that. You need to practice TDD, which is test-driven design. You design stuff, and immediately you define a test, and you define a system that tests it, okay? I will show you an example. And you work with documentation as a reference. Now, documentation is something fundamental to understand that is different from what you might think of documentation today. And I will go over these things again, but let's just move to the demo. So I will throw away the presentation. I don't want the presentation anymore. And I will go to blah, 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 blah. Only for that, I will open some directory. So here's an empty directory. Let's start with an example. Let's build some websites. Okay, so first demo will be websites. Okay, so I'll go into the website. I will open a command line. I will open Visual Studio Code by writing code dot, means open Visual Studio code here in this directory. It will open. And now we have Visual Studio Code opened. Nothing here, okay? And as I told you, it's not a Visual Studio Code training. It's very intuitive. You can just follow what I'm doing. You can do it later. So don't lose everything I'm saying. If you're trying to do it in parallel, do it later after the training. You can write down what you should try and do. But your starting point is actually that you did the onboarding, which will send you the document. If you didn't do the onboarding, please do it as fast as you can, okay? And the end of the onboarding is that you have Visual Studio Code installed. You see this alien here. When you press it, it opens a chat here on the right, okay? And you're logged in. So you see I'm Avi Salmon, I'm logged in, okay? And down in the chat, there's agent mode, ask mode, and edit mode. You should be able to see that you're working on an agent mode, and you can choose a model, and we will choose Sonnet 4. Okay, this is very important what model. If you are in this state, you are in the starting point. As I showed in the trailer, teaser, we can write a new document called whatever dot text and write a nice smart sentence inside. Now, if I'm doing,
Are
yeah.
you sharing your desktop? Because all we see is the V code icon.
We can see it.
Do you see it now?
Yeah,
We
I
can
can
see
see it.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe it's, okay. So if you can see it, okay. So I asked him something and he wrote a file, and let's see what's smart. The intersection of artificial intelligence and human creatively represented. Okay. Thank you very much. Now I can, if I press keep here, it's already there. The file is there. Okay. But, and you see it's green because it's new. It always, I will say keep, and the green disappeared, and you didn't see, but there was a dot here to say that it's edited. Let's say add another smart line, and I'll add another smart line, and now you see he added another smart line. In a world where machines learn, dream, good. Okay, now you see it's green, and you see that it's marked here that I've edited. So if you will change, I will say delete the word world from the text. So, okay, it didn't do what I wanted. It just deleted it, so it's still new. I wanted it to write a red line and then a new line. But you can see where the line will be red, he's saying I'm deleting this, and where the lines are green, he's saying I'm adding this. Now, the methodology is that as long as you go, you're not going to hurry on pressing the keep button. You're going to go over what he did and agree. And you can, say, I don't like it, please do it differently. And only after you are happy with the changes that he's done, you press keep. Okay. Now, we're going to first demo to write some website. So I'm going to write some HTML, and what will we do today? By the way, I'm always doing examples that I've never done before. So maybe it will fail, maybe it will embarrass me. I don't know, but we'll see. Now, I don't have the time and patience to type everything, so I want to chat with him. Now, you can see you have a mic here, okay? And this mic, you can just press it and it will record what you say. But don't do it, please. I'm repeating, don't use this microphone here because of two reasons. One, if you're working with an expensive model like Claude Sonnet 4, which is mostly what you want to work with, you have only limited amount of free credits a month for that. And when you are recording, it will use this expensive model just to transcribe what you're saying. This is a waste of your requests and tokens. So you don't do it here. You'll do it in some other transcribe tool that you will find. I will show you what I use, but it's not available for you. But I'm also trying to find a solution for everyone. But you're a part of a big software organization. Figure it out. You have so many software engineers. You should figure out how to build a tool that will transcribe it for you. I will show you how I do it, but don't use this here. The second reason why not to use it here is because when you speak to it, whenever you pause, it thinks that you're done and he's sending the request. And sometimes, as you will see me, I want to hesitate when I'm talking to him. I want to think, I want to pause, okay? So I'm using another transcribe tool, Let me show you where it is. It's here. So this is in Azure. Actually, you may have access to such tool, but I will show you later a tool that I'm building. Maybe it will be available for you, but never mind. Just one transcribe tool that you can use. So let me record it. So we're gonna build a website project. It's gonna be an HTML site. And what we're going to do, it will be a simulation for kids of how a pendulum works. What's the theory behind the physics of a pendulum? And I want the website to actually demonstrate how the pendulum, goes rocking left to right, and do some simulation. I don't know, what does if we change the math, the lengths of the pendulum, or maybe some explanations, I don't know. So that's what we're going to build. And what I want you to do, don't write this website. I don't want you to write this website. I want you to write an MD file that will describe the spec of the website. I want a description of the website, how it should look. It should be very nice looking. It should be designed for kids, like, attractive, maybe nice fonts. It needs to be HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in different files. I don't want everything to be in the HTML. It's not professional. You can use CDNs if you like, if you think it's smart. And I want the spec to also guide the designer how to implement this solution. So just write the MD file. Don't implement the website, because I want to review the MD file first. So go ahead. So now I will stop the recording. I'll transcribe it. And what you need to understand, that I'm talking to him friendly, okay? Like I would talk to a colleague, okay? I will paste it here, and I will let him work. Now, I will. The reason that we like to work with MD file, that it's easy later to take it to wikis and to turn it to PDFs, and he knows to read the MD files very good. So I will let him work. Now he's architecting the solution, okay? And you can add an extension to the VS Code that knows how to show MD files nicely. I have it already installed. So let's see if it takes him a long time to create. Here, we created something. You see? Now, as a professional engineer, and again, when I'm saying engineer, it's also a technician, engineer, software engineer. It's a general word that I'm using, okay? Now, just for the demo, I will assume he wrote nice things here, okay? But as a professional, you need to read it. So let's see. I will just view. I'll close everything. And you can see pendulum physics simulation website. Very nice. This is the header section. It probably did good job. By the way, just to see this is impressive, okay? But let's continue. Let's continue. And I will tell you, okay, I read it, keep, okay? And I will say, now, write the code. Let's see what you can do. And we will let him write the code. I have no clue if it will be nice. I really, it's always a gamble to be in front of audience, to be in a recorded session, when I don't have a clue what he will do. But let's see. If it will take him too long, I will show you something else in parallel. So, by the way, one of the things is how to write prompts. Now, there's a lot of trainings of how to write prompts. Be aware that a lot of the trainings were prepared like half a year ago. Here, he wrote the, we will see it in a minute. He's still writing it. When you write prompts, there are theories about it, but in general, my recommendation is writing prompts with an LLM. Actually, what I did here is by writing the MD file, I actually wrote a prompt. Okay, he wrote a prompt. So usually, when you want to do something, talk to him, okay, and ask him to write the MD file or a prompt, or okay. So you don't need to write the prompt; you need to advise with him. And while he is looking in that, I will go to my private ChatGPT to show you some additional things you can do. So this is my private ChatGPT. So I recommend you to have some chat. And I do recommend, by the way, to all my friends to have a private subscription to, I use ChatGPT. You can use Claude. Because you can do a lot of stuff that are not interrelated here. So I will come back from the VS Code to here. So I will tell him, by the way, let's see if it's working. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Good. He hears me. Okay. Not you. I asked thank you for that. I asked him. I'll tell him, write a prompt to an LLM to write a great physics site to experiment with pendulum. The site should be very educational for kids to explain the physics of pendulum. What I want you to write a prompt, a perfect prompt to my GitHub Copilot or Cursor or whatever tool I'm using. So go ahead. So you can do that also. I will let him generate a prompt. You can do such things with iGPT as well, but iGPT is not that perfect as GPT-5, for example, etc. So he writes a prompt. This prompt can be served in GitHub Copilot. Now be careful. This is only for non-Intel material. You can't put in your private account things that are related to your work. So if you're doing something natural, you can go outside, but whatever you do something that relates to work, you need to use the Intel systems. So it's done. I won't press keep. I will go to see what he's doing. So I will open this in a revealing file explorer. What do you say? I think it's impressive. Okay. Amazing world of pendulum. Okay. We have some, simulation. Let's see. I can play with it. How do I start? Stop. Now here it reset. It doesn't work good. How do I start it? Okay. I won't continue here, but you can tell him. You can go back. Let's go to the transcribe. Okay, look, it has bugs because I'm trying to start the simulation and it's not clear when to start. And when I do press on some start button, it doesn't do the pendulum. It doesn't rock. So check it out. Please fix it. He mixed some Hebrew word over there. So let's see. I apologize. You're right. I'll check. Let's see. He's reading, writing. So again, it's the goal of the training is to just talk about the methodology. I found several issues, okay, and I will fix it, etc. So let's see that he fixes it. And until he's fixing it, we'll go back to the additional part of the chat here. And I will ask him a new question because I want to show you. Let's pick a subject. Let's pick a subject. I want to do a deep research. Again, this is your private account. Remember, just to show you capabilities, because I'm going to take what I will do here to the GitHub Copilot. So let's say I want to study. Okay. I want to do a deep research about Intel. I want to know Intel situation technology-wise, stock investment-wise, financial, recent latest news. So what I need you to do is write a prompt for a deep research that we will do that will research the status of Intel. As we said, business-wise, financial-wise, government-wise, everything. So just write the prompt for the deep research. And we'll go back to this, okay? Let's go back here. He fixed, he did. Let's see how the website works now. I will refresh it. I will start. And as I expected, it still has bugs. Okay. Or maybe this is the simulation. So I will complain to him, but he will fix it, okay? Believe me. Let's say it worked, okay? Let's say it worked. But now I want to emphasize again the difference between vibe coding and co-coding. What I did so far is more like vibe coding. Now, if you are an HTML expert, okay, or a full stack expert, you will go and you will probably tell him, look, guy, I don't like what you did. I want you to do it in a separate page. I want to do it. I see you did a JavaScript. You will talk with him professionally, and you might find yourself help him debug it. You will say you will know exactly how to correct him. For example, oh, he did it very nice, I must say. But as a professional, you will tell him, look, I saw your code. I want you to do this and that, as if you are a team manager that reviews the work of the engineer in your team, and you comment on it and change it. Okay, so I will say keep here, and I will tell him here, please init git here. So I'm asking him to create a Git repository out of this directory. And he will say git init, which says I'm going to initialize git here. So again, git is a version control. Now you see, when he's doing some actions, he asks me to press continue, because it's like asking a permission to do this operation. I can tell you that there are options to skip and make it automatically. And I recommend not to do this. This is my way of keeping control of what he's doing. I'm saying, okay, he will see down here, he's opening a terminal, and he initiated Git. He's checking the status. And he's stuck, and I will tell him commit with initial version. Okay, by the way, he put here in git ignore. Git ignore is a file that tells what not to refer in the repository. It's very important if you're pushing your Git repository here to GitHub. There are a lot of things that you don't want that will be pushed to the GitHub. So that's why he puts the git ignore. And he's saying git add, meaning he wants to add the files to the repository. and then he will commit git config user email, okay, whatever. And then he will git config, okay, he's doing more work than I'm expecting. And he will commit now. Git status, okay. Git log, he's checking what's going on. Okay, perfect. And now I will tell him to git commit with initial. So he will write a version that says initial. And if you are always committing versions, okay, and when you will get lost, he will help you find the way back. So, and it will happen to you. Remember, you're going to do stuff, it's going to run, and suddenly everything, you don't know, you pressed keep, and he did silly things, and you got lost. It will happen to you. And if you do this git, okay, whatever. If you did, you'll git now has a clean initial version. Okay, good. If you keep on putting checkpoints with Git, you can always ask him to go back to the morning, to last day, okay? So I will be done with this, and I will go to a new example. The new example is not just a demo, what you can do. So yesterday, I understood that not everybody can have an access to transcribe tool, okay? So I said, let's build an app, a Python app that will build a GUI. And I built this application here that actually is working. I'm recording and it saves, and this, I built an installer for that. The reason I will not send it to you now is that I need to do some QA and testing, but maybe next week, if it will work, I will send it to everyone to use. It's Intel confidential tool. You can see in the help about it's using an internal Intel transcription tool, so you can speak freely top secrets, and it is safe. And what the point is that I've built this guy here with the installer, with I checked it, and all kind of in I think 1 hour, maybe 1 hour and a half. Now I think that from my experience, this kind of tool, if you know what to do, it would take you, I don't know, few days. I did it in an hour. Now I did it in vibe coding. Okay, I just asked him, he did it. It's fun, but if something will break, I will need to pull in my Python experience and dig into the code. So let's see how to really write a Python. So we'll now do the second demo, which is Python script. I'll close this one. I'll close this one. I will close this one. And I will open a new directory, which is new, a Python script. So now let's write a Python script. So here's a new directory, an empty one. I will do the same. We can even go to here. We can go to the new to Python. Okay. Dear nothing. Okay. So I can open Visual Studio Code from here. It will open a new empty Visual Studio Code. Okay. Now, if you know how to work with Python, you will need, when I work with Python, I recommend strongly always to work with a virtual environment, okay? Because when you are doing different Python projects, Every project needs its own version of packages. You always want to encapsulate your work in an environment. So actually, I can tell him to do everything here, but I will do it externally. I will open a virtual environment here. This is Python -m venv, and I will call the environment env. It will create a virtual environment that it's called env in this directory. It will take me a second. And I will tell him to go into env and activate it. You see, now I'm inside the env. But now I'm going to talk to him. And I need to invent a new thing, because as I told you, every training I'm doing something that I didn't do before. So I will do like this. Hi, we're going to build a Python script here. Now take a note that I've already set up env environment. So please activate this environment and work inside. Also, I will put you, I will give you a bet file, a proxy.bat, that you will need to run if you want to install Python packages, because we are at Intel, and in Intel you need to set up the proxy, else you can't install Python packages. You know, that's how it is at Intel. Now, actually, I'm speaking to you like with a few things that are not related, just to show the audience that I'm demoing that I can talk to you very freely, and you will know what to refer to and what to not. So let's go back to the Python script. So you need to work in a virtual environment, and let's do a very simple script that actually find prime numbers. So the script will be a command line script that you need to enter parameters. The user should enter parameters. If it didn't enter any parameter, it will print the help message. Of course, there will be a flag -h and -help that will print the same message. And the inputs should be a number that I want to find the first prime number that is larger than the number that I gave. Okay. And also a number of how many numbers I want to find. So, for example, you see, I'm not really know what I'm. Okay, so one number will be the number that there I'm looking for the prime number. So if I will give him a million, then he will find the first prime number that is bigger than a million. And the other input is how many more prime numbers I want, like 10. So it will find 10 prime numbers that are the first that are larger than the million. Now, the number is mandatory, but the number of primes are optional, and you can default it to 1. And also, I think that's it. It's a very simple program. Don't write the program. What I want you to do is write an MD file that describes the program and also describes a good practice of how to write a Python script. So write the MD file. I will review it, and then we can continue. So in this example, I specifically wanted to show you that I'm, mumbling, I'm confused, I don't know. You can allow yourself to do that, okay? In general. You don't need to, but when you permit yourself to talk like that, it brings the creativity out of you more easily. No, 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 sir. No, no, no. I have asked for an empty file. Now, do you know why he didn't listen to me and understand? I'll tell you why. Because it is set to model GPT-4.1. This is your default. Now, let me tell you a story here, okay? It's free, okay? And there's a saying saying that, you know, free cheese can be found only in a mousetrap, okay? So this is free. You want to use Sonnet 4. Sonnet 4s know what to do. Now, I get people saying, I don't care, I'm taking the default. It's a life-changing difference. When you work with Sonnet 4, you are working with an experienced grade 8 engineer. When you're working with the default 4.1, since this training is recorded, I wouldn't say any unpolite things, okay? He is okay, but no, not more than that. So you see, I'm asking for stuff, he did something else. Now, let me tell you my personal experience. By the way, I didn't introduce myself. I'm an innovation lead in IDC, but I'm also a hardware designer. In the hardware design, we're developing a very complicated chip. And we're working with Claude Sonnet 4. And we are doing amazing stuff. We are amazed every day with the brilliance of this model. And the problem is that as an Intel account, you have a limited amount of requests that you can ask from Sonnet 4. Now, if you're not working on software programming or code programming all day long, you're doing a tool here, a tool there, it will be okay. It won't be consumed. But if your day job is to write code and you will start using Sonnet 4, you will be out of credits after maybe a week. And then you will need to escalate to your manager and, you know, problems and everything. But this is what happened to us. And we got to the point that Claude Sonnet 4 stopped. You can, by the way, you can hover over this alien here, down here, and you can see the premium request in red. So I have 100%, but I have a special permission to exceed the 100%. You won't have it, okay? So it automatically went back to 4.1. Now it was like, you're starting to work, we say, okay, 4.1, let's keep on working. And you are so frustrated. Now, I survived like 10 minutes and I said, I can't work like that. My manager that is working, he said, after 2 minutes, I'm not working anymore because it's impossible. So the difference when you're working on Sonnet 4 and the other models are extremely. So if you don't work with Sonnet 4, don't tell me that it's not doing, it doesn't understand. No, it's a huge difference. So now, and the story is that when we got back to Sonnet 4, it was very funny because I told him, it's a real story. I said, oh, you're back. You don't believe what happened here. It's a mess. And he answered, I see, I understand. I'm sorry for that. Let's see what happened. And he's going and browse the files and say, oh, I see, don't worry, I will fix that. It's like a human being. So believe me, you will get to this experience if you will start working. So I've asked for an MD file. Please read my request again. Now it's a new model, so he will read my request and probably he will understand, okay, now I get it. You're absolutely right. I apologize for the misunderstanding. You asked for that. Now he understands. Okay, so now let him work. He wrote an MD file. Okay, let's see the MD file. Let's review it. It's a very simple script. So again, my examples are very simple today. But believe me that you can do very complicated. Now, okay, so here, example usage, okay,